Hi. In the real world, once we develop the machine learning model, we have to test the accuracy of the model with the new data to see how accurate the ML is predicting and working. So it's always not an intuitive process to wait until we get the new data. So instead of that, there is an option called train test split. So basically, we can use the same existing data and we split the data into two data sets. One we use for the training purpose and the other we use for the testing purpose. In this video, I will walk you through that how to split the data into training data and testing data. And for that, let's start with Kaggle. So Kaggle is a platform where you can download the data. So just go to Kaggle hard disk data set, search for this one, click on this one, and so I mean, if in case if you haven't signed in, or if you're using it for the first time, just register up yourself. This platform is very useful, and go down, scroll down, and you can see this hard CSV. Click on the download symbol and download it. Okay, we have downloaded the data. Now let's go to the Colab. Colab is a platform where you can develop your ML models. You can also use the Jupyter notebook. Both Colab and Jupyter notebook, they look same, they work same. So um, I will show you how it looks like. In case if you haven't used it before, just go to google.com. So search for Colab, click on the first one. If in case if you're using the Colab for the first time, it may ask you for to enter your email address and password. Go ahead and enter your Gmail and address and Gmail address, email and password. And here, click on the new notebook. Yep. Just would like to give a quick demo. So basically, this is the place where you can write. You can rename the file. So I'm just like train test split, because we're going to split the data. So click on the connect here, so it goes and connects to the Google Cloud platform. And meanwhile it connects, click on the folder icon here and click on the upload symbol over there. Let it connect for a moment. Just okay, this is connected. You can see the tick mark over here. Click on the upload symbol. I mean, I'm using a different OS. I mean, but if you're using Windows or MacBook, the pop-up window would be like slightly different. So now we have successfully uploaded the data set. Copy the path here. Let's start with this one. So basically, let's import libraries. Import live. Click on text. So import pandas as pd. So I would like to import numpy as well to check how many blank values are there. And to split the data, we need a library called sklearn.model selection. So we need import train test split. Let's run this one. This is fine. And now click on the code. So we already copied the copy path here. I'm copying here. So I would like to name it as a df, as a data frame. So pd dot, remember this is a csv one, so read csv, paste the file. Yeah. If in case if the number of records are like over like 1 lakh or 100k, more than 100k, let's give this low memory is equal to false. Basically this really helps to improve performance of the system. Click on this one. This is fine now. So df dot head, basically this by default this gives like first 5 records. You can see the values here. I mean, here you can see, I mean, there are columns and there is this target value. Basically, this is all about to understand uh, to understand whether the person will get a heart disease or not. 0 represents no heart disease, 1 represents heart disease. I mean, first of all, let's see how many records are there. df dot shape, right? So it's 1025 number of rows and 14 of the columns. And let's see, I mean, let's see the data types of this one. So df dot d types. Okay, all the columns are either integers or floats. So basically this is really good. And so we don't have any string values. I mean, strings we also called as a categorical values as well. We don't have any string values here so far. So this is all, the entire data set is a numerical data set. And now so I mean, we can also see the data types using one more function called info function, as I explained in my previous videos as well. But also you can go through that. Basically it also gives the same content with the non-null values records and the data type. And let's test whether there are any null values here. So if you see here, then numpy model, so I have written over here, if in case if we haven't wrote on the up, we can write it again here. So basically here df dot replace, if there isn't any blank cell, so let's find missing, count missing values, count missing values. So here df dot replace, so if in case if it's a blank value, then it's like a space. So if it is, if any value is missing, I would like to replace with non value, which is not a numerical number. And then in place is equal to 2. Basically what this helps is that this acts like a save function. I mean, whenever you mention like in place is equal to true, basically once we execute this one, that all the changes will reflect to the df data set. Or else you can also do this one, you can remove this one and you can put like a df is equal to you can remove this one and you can put it over there. I prefer to use in this way. So and then so df dot is now how many your, not a number, dot sum. I would like to see this one. No, sorry. This is good. I mean, all the columns, they don't have any missing values, which is really good. So if in case if we have any missing values, we have to fill those values. There are few methodologies that I have explained in my later videos. Go and check them. Now we have this one. And if in case if you wanna see the statistics of your data, df.describe always helps you to see. For example, now you can see, I mean, if any of your columns are either strings or categorical values, that column will not be shown here, because it only works for the integers or the float values. For example, let's look at the column age. Okay, so the number of rows which are 1025. So what is the mean average of the age is 54. What is the standard deviation is 9.07. And what is the minimum age is 29. And 25% of the people in 1025 rows records of data, their age is 48, and 50% is 56, and the maximum is like 77. You can see the data here. Now we have one more function, which is sort values. We can sort our values. I mean, if in case if you're you might have used this in Excel or something. So I wanna sort this by target, and ascending is equal to false. So basically you can sort your data like this. You can see this one. Now let's see sklearn tree, sklearn map. If you look at this one, sorry, MAP map. choosing the right estimator. So, I mean, if you look at this one, whenever you're dealing with the data, mostly we have either the classification or the regression. So, what is classification and what is regression? So, classification is that if your whatever you're predicting is like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, basically, here when we look at our data, okay, let's do this one df dot head. If you look at your data, I mean, we have this target column basically based on all these input features. We are predicting the targets. Okay, all these ones from 1 to here. So basically, they are called inputs or the features. And this one, the target, I mean, we technically we can call it as a label, actual or output. So in the machine learning terminology, basically all the inputs are called as the features, and the output they call it as a label. So we have these many features, and this is the target. I mean, how to see whether we have to apply the classification model or the regressor model? So regression model is like predicting the prices or predicting some value which is not a which is a continuous value. The discrete values are like zeros and ones and all. For example, see here. So what we can do, so df, so I'm just only calling this specific label target dot value counts. So if you run this one, you can see the output as like, so I mean, one is like the people may get the heart disease is 2, 5, 26 and 0. So we can see that we can clearly apply the classification model here. The same one people prefer to write like this as well. I mean, whichever you are comfortable, you can use this one. Remember, if you have spaces in the column names like target value, something like that, you prefer this one. If there are no spaces in the column names, you use this one. Okay, now we have this one. Let's split the data. Let's separate the features and that column and the labels. For that, I'm just using this one. So x is equal to, okay, x is equal to df dot, I'm instead of writing all the column names, I'm just dropping this one. Columns is equal to the label one, I'm dropping that. And so because we are dropping the entire column, we have to mention axis is equal to 1. If you're dropping a row, you have to mention axis is equal to 0, and y is equal to df of target, right? This looks good, executed perfectly. So let's see x values. I mean, x of 2, basically it will display the first two rows. You can see there is no target column here. And also let's see y of 2. Okay, this is good. Now we have the data set for x and y. As I told at the beginning of this video, so we have 1,000 plus records. So basically what I'm going to do is that I'm going to split the data into 80 and 20. So 80% of the data I'm going to use to feed the machine learning while developing the machine learning model. And once I develop the model, that the remaining 20%, I use this 20% data to test the model whether it is predicting the values correctly or not. So whatever the data which I'm going to use while developing this model, I'm going to call this as the training data, and 20% is the test data. So this is how it is going to work. So we have data x and y. So what I'm going to do here is that x and y, so I'm going to divide as like x train comma y train. I'm going to assign 80% of the data for these two values, and then I'm going to have x test data. So this is the data which I will use later for testing purpose. Y test is equal to remaining 20% data. So I mean, few people, they also prefer to split the data into 3 ways, like training data, validate data, and test data. That is something we will see in the later part of the videos. I mean, at this one, let's keep it like very simple. And now click on this one. So for this purpose, we have imported this module called sklearn model selection. If in case if you haven't executed this, imported this value library here, you just update here. I mean, just like, I mean, if someone, if in case if you're seeing from here, just like from sklearn dot model selection, believe me, this is something you get used to it once you start practicing it. And there are like so many libraries in the machine learning model, which you have to learn, you have to practice a lot. But anyways, I wish you all the best for that. Now what I'm going to do is that xtrain comma xtest, okay, and then ytrain ytest. So these are all the variables. I mean, you can write any variable name, whichever you're comfortable with. I mean, this is like a common practice for all the machine learn developers. So I'm using the same name terminology here. So train, test, split. So what we have: x value, x data, y data, and then test size. So how much data I want to use for the testing purpose? I'm going to select 0.2, which means like 20% of the data. And random state, this is an optional one, either you can use it or not. So basically, if you put this random state is equal to 20 on exactly whatever the number I have updated here, whatever the, I mean, when this Python splits the data, it exactly splits like how it splits the data for me, the same data it will split for you as well. That's it. So let's run this one. Okay, now let's see what is the count of the, I mean, we already have seen the x and y count, right? I mean, here you can see, if you see x dot shape comma y dot shape, these are the original values. So it is 1025 records, right? And now let's see the shape xtrain dot shape comma y train dot shape. Let's see this one. So the training data, it is 820. So if you look like 1025 into 0.8, so if you look into this one, there is like 820 records. So that is the training data. So x test dot shape y test dot shape. If you look at this one, this is 205. I know that this video is getting longer and longer, but believe me, I'm trying to explain everything in detail so that you really don't have to refer any other docs or something once after you go through my videos, which is really good. And also, for example, if you want to see the data which is written out, so xtrain of 2, I mean, I want to see like first 2 records of I or something like that. I'm just putting like 2. You can see, oh, this is the data, and y train or slash of 2. So here you can see this one. Thank you for watching the video until here. In the later videos, I will develop my first ML model here, and also we will use this xtrain data to train the ML model, and then we use the xtest data to predict the values. Thank you and have a good day.